Sell your clutter fast for cash. That's a tongue twister. I've been selling things online for 15 years. I've sold things for more than I originally paid. I've sold the most obscure items like $15 curtain rods. And I've done big sales, furniture pieces and other large items within just 12 hours of posting. Reselling on the internet is an art, and I've mastered it. Making extra cash is so much fun in my opinion, but I also care about the planet, you know? The idea of somebody going out to buy like a brand new desk from Target or some other big box store when there's the option to recycle and reuse actually hurts my heart a little bit. So I am all for reselling and buying gently used items when we can. When decluttering, my criteria for letting things go in your home is 1, it doesn't bring you joy. 2, it no longer serves a purpose. Or 3, you're simply ready for an upgrade. So if you're ready to let go of stuff that's weighing heavy in your home and your mind, today I'm going to share my tips for selling your clutter for cash fast, specifically online. First, here are my main tips. Decide if something is actually valuable and sellable. Not all your trash is someone else's treasure. Sometimes I scroll through these sites and I'm like, why? Nobody wants your cat's used litter box for $20. They just don't. There are 3 ways I discard my old belongings. 1, sell it. I stick to selling things online, but you can also go through consignment shops or host a yard sale. 2, donate it. I'll take it to a Goodwill center or give it to somebody I know that wants it. 3, trash it in the dumpster or recycling bin. With each belonging, you want to ask yourself, is this worth anything? Is this in good enough condition to sell? Would people find this valuable and useful? Now, the more you practice selling your belongings, the better you'll get at this determination. Sometimes I'll post something for sale, and if it hasn't sold after a long period of time, especially after lowering the price, I'll take it off the market and either donate it or trash it, depending on the item. Believe that making money online is easy and fun. If you believe that it's hard and strenuous and not any fun, you're not going to make sales. Instead, what will happen is you'll procrastinate and drag your feet in posting things. Piles of old stuff will just sit in your home. Or the way in which you post, your descriptions, photos, etc., will be lazy and not enticing. And the result, you'll end up dreading the process and not making much money. And you'll think it's because people don't want to buy my things, when in reality, it's because you don't believe it's easy and fun to sell things online. Like, I really believe that selling things online is so easy and so much fun, which is why I've had so much success. So adopting the right mentality is key if you want to make some extra cash. Create and keep an organized list. I use just a simple to-do list pad or Word doc. If spreadsheets are your thing, go wild. Write down all the items you're selling and determine what you're selling each item for. You want to keep track of what other information you need. So like measurements, photos, product descriptions from the original retailer. It's not that time consuming, you guys. It can take 5 to 10 minutes to do all of that and get an item posted. Again, if it feels overwhelming, it's only because your thoughts around the process are messy and disorganized. Just decide that it's easy and your brain will motivate you to take the necessary action. Keeping an organized system is especially useful if you're selling a lot of things all at once. So maybe you just did a huge spring clean out or you're moving out of your existing home. P.S. I am a big promoter of selling all the things when making a physical move. I've lived in 3 different cities and 4 different apartments, and with each and every move, I would sell 90% of my belongings. I look at every physical move as a new chapter and a fresh start. And not to mention, it saves on moving costs. But seriously, I cannot tell you how many people I see not taking the time to declutter and go through their old shit when moving and instead they just carry all of it with them to their new place. Like, what? Talk about baggage. You're not just taking physical baggage to a new home, but also any old mental and emotional baggage that it represents. If you are moving, please, please, please start the decluttering and selling process early, months in advance, to give yourself space and time and let go of everything that no longer serves you moving forward. End rant. Choose whatever selling site or sites feel the best for you. There are so many sites out there. Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, Nextdoor, OfferUp, Poshmark, Mercari. In my opinion, spreading yourself too thin on all the sites can make the task of selling more tedious and less fun. My suggestion is to hone in on one or two sites that work best for you. Which sites do you find the most user-friendly? Which sites do you have the most success on? Personally, when it comes to household items, furniture, and decor, Craigslist and Nextdoor are my jam. If you live in a city like I do, it's so easy to sell from these sites. There are not only larger numbers of people, but the cost of living in the city is so much higher that people are always looking for used items and deals. Clothing, I only use Poshmark. I find the experience to be super easy. So again, just shop around, no pun intended, and choose the site or sites that you're magnetically drawn to. But if you're new to selling online, you may need to sign up for a few different apps so that you can get a better feel and then decide. Okay, my quick tips to selling and posting your belongings online. 1, keep your post short and clear, but don't withhold any information. You do not want people contacting you with questions that you could have easily answered in your post. So exact dimensions and sizes, colors, condition. Be honest here. Include scratches, rips, and nicks with photos showcasing any wear and tear. Answer those questions before they come in, and so there are no surprises at the time of sale. 2, include your phone number if it applies and if you are comfortable. I always include my number, like even on Craigslist, so that people can easily text me, but use your own discretion. Number 3, utilize the power of story. Again, keep it short, don't write a novel here, but in your description, state why this belonging is so amazing and why you're heartbroken to see it go. It's a little dramatic, but you know what I mean. It's helpful to note that there's nothing necessarily wrong with what you're selling, and in fact, it's brought you so much joy. It just simply doesn't serve a purpose any longer, and you're simply moving in a new direction. For example, I bought a used camera lens, actually the camera lens I used for this channel until very recently, and it was listed years ago for $700 on eBay. And the seller said that he had used the lens for years to film his son's soccer games, and now that his son is all grown up, he no longer needs it. And that story literally is what got me pulled at my heartstrings to buy from him over the other sellers. Story is what connects us. Number 4, good quality photos. Okay, I do not understand people who post, "My green couch is in great condition, yada, yada, yada," and don't post photos. No one's buying your green couch, Betty. My suggestion is to post 1, your own photos, the item in your home from different angles with good lighting, and 2, the professional images from the retailing website if you can still find the listing. Number 5, accept cash only or an app like Venmo. Absolutely no checks, Bitcoin, or other shady forms of payment. And of course, lots of apps already have a secure payment system in place when signing up. Number 6, respond to inquiries quickly. The longer you leave somebody hanging, the chances of you making a sale decrease. It takes 2 seconds to respond, so respond quickly. Number 7, price to sell. Selling online is not that different from selling real estate. Price right and don't let the first offer slip you by. Price where you're comfortable and happy, but also where it's a no-brainer for the potential buyer. Check the comps. In other words, what did other sellers sell similar items for recently? In the same way that you don't want a house sitting on the market, you don't want your item sitting on the site. Even when you renew your listing, some sites have expirations, people will recognize your listing when they're browsing. The more stale it gets, the less interested the buyer. Then you'll be forced to dramatically lower your price, which is why pricing too high in the beginning is never a great idea. Number 8, negotiations. You get to decide if you allow negotiating or not. Sometimes if I really feel like I'm priced right, I'll write in the post, no negotiating, and that creates a clear boundary. Other times, I won't create that boundary, and a lot of people pay full price anyway, and others will negotiate, and I'm happy to have that back and forth with them. When it comes to negotiating and or lowering your price, here are some questions to consider. Has my item been sitting for a while without any bites? How eager am I to sell? What do I value more right now? The cash or just getting it off my hands quickly and freeing up space? Such a good question. In other words, maybe you're not in a rush to sell. This thing in your home is not weighing heavy on your soul, so you can afford to wait for a better buyer. Or maybe you just want this thing out of your way and you'll take whatever at this point. This is where you get to connect to your true self and decide what the real cost is here. Number 9, be safe and trust your gut when making a sale in person. Use your best judgment. If you get a spammy email, you will know it's a spammy email. It's when it sounds like a robot. Set up a time during the day to meet. I don't mind, again, maybe I'm just way too trusting, I don't know, but I don't mind people coming into my home, especially if it's a larger item that they need help carrying or even check out prior to buying. But I do make sure someone is here with me. If it's a smaller to medium item, I'll have people park outside and we'll run the item out to them. With all of that being said, I have met, I'm not kidding you, the nicest, coolest people when selling online. I remember post-college when I was selling everything from my Boston apartment before moving out to LA, and I started selling my things out of my mom's house. My mom watches a lot of 2020, and so she was really wary about the whole thing. But I'd actually have her make some of the sales. I'd be like, okay, Mom, this guy Frank or this woman Jeannie is stopping by at 4 to buy my camera. And then she would call me and be like, oh my God, she was so nice. We talked about this. Do you know where she lives? She lives right next door to your aunt. How funny is that? Don't be shady and you won't attract shady. Lastly, number 10, enjoy the art of decluttering and selling. Making money is fun. You're helping the planet and your trash really is someone else's treasure. It's an all-in-all win experience in my opinion. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you guys for watching. If you are craving a fresh start and maybe have been for a while, I'll link my coaching program down below. You'll be like, why the F didn't I sign up for this earlier? I hear people say that all the time. I help you shed the old you and everything that doesn't support you any longer, and we uncover who you're becoming and take actionable steps to invite new and improved results in. I will see you all next week. I love you. Bye.